Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another 1v1 brought to you by Youth for the Penanza team. And the game we got here today was recently released in a replay pack by Daisuke himself, and he got quite a few nice games, and we're going to be casting here one of them. And let's introduce our players. It's going to be NITRIXdaiSuki. He's going to be our red Zerg here at the top right. Sponsored personally by Team, well, not by Team Nitrix, just by Nitrix, sponsored personally him. And his opponent going to be MVPTAiLS, of course, hailing from Korea, very well-known player. And yeah, it's going to be a ZVP here in Daybreak, and this is going to be the ladder edition, as it does have the full mining base here, 8 mineral patches, 2 Vespian geysers in the middle. And we'll see what happens here, as this map is very large. There's pretty large distances to cover with the Roach Ling, if you do go for that. So it's slightly easier to defend a third base, but pretty difficult to defend a fourth base for the Protoss, given that this one is very far away and you have this counter-attack path and such, and this one is just in the middle of nowhere, and you can easily be surrounded. So we'll see how Tails circumvents those inherent problems within the map. We see his Sky Pro is already coming towards the natural here, and actually going to put down a pylon there, it seems. That's interesting. But this overlord is going to spot it pretty quickly, so I'm not sure what he is trying to do with that. Drone instantly pulled. Spawning pool is already about to complete. Sees the pylon. Decides to go expand. This is... No, yeah. Decides to go expand. Pulls 3 drones at the probe. That pylon should be cancelled. Yes, it is cancelled. And that's actually quite smart by Daisuke to decide, okay, I'll let that pylon complete, because actually that pylon isn't really going to do anything. Like, you can't really block a cannon there. There would still be attacking possibilities. So yeah, it's not the best pylon placement in order to scare Zerg off. Over there, it's much more scary, as we see Daisuke going to be checking that. And meanwhile, the Nexus has gone down. The first photon cannon for defense is already going down as well for Tails, and a gateway should be coming out momentarily. There it is. And meanwhile, we do have a couple of Lings and we're chasing that probe. Nope, decides to turn around and reunite with their friends. And now they should start getting some map control, scanning around the map and such. And meanwhile, the first queen is out, second queen out before third hatchery. That is interesting by Daisuke. I am a Zerg player, I usually do go for the third hatch before the second queen. Does get you that hatchery a bit faster. And meanwhile, we have this Link patrolling over here, very nice patrol route. Probe might still be able to sneak by though. No, it seems unlikely nowadays. The Zerg should spot it and go after it. Yes, it does. And yep, that Link gonna catch sight of that probe, and that probe will eventually go down most likely. Cyber Chrono going up, as well as the 2 gas geysers are now mining. A lot of gas. I wouldn't be surprised to see +1 come out before any other gas units. I'm not sure. Maybe Warp Gate before +1. That wouldn't make sense. I am expecting +1 right now, to be completely honest with you guys. And here we do have a third base, which is pretty late by the normal standards, but still reasonably early, and he does have the 2 queens, so his production is going to be great. And there is a +1 indeed before the Warp Gate, and there's the first sentry as well. So these gases were actually very early by Tails, so that he can get the +1. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 7 gate, or some sort of other all-in, or maybe a 4-gate pressure, which is pretty standard nowadays in Korea. Not so much outside of Korea though. Haven't been encountering that much in ladder. But yeah, we have the third queen now coming, 2 gas geysers coming at around 46 supply, which is it's a bit late, but it doesn't really matter. He hasn't seen the 2 gas geysers, so he should be getting roaches and such pretty soon to be able to defend that imminent 7 gate or 6 gate or 4 gate. Never mind, now he does see the 2 more gases. So now what this basically tells Daisuke is, okay, this is either you're trying to fool me and you're going for a 7 gate or something like that, which would be quite interesting. DaiSuki will probably check those to see if they're mine though. Or you're going for a robo, because Stargate doesn't really need that much gas. And that Overlord is going to be scanning very nicely. Then we'll spot the 4 gateways which aren't coming down. Five gateways in total. 4 more there, and that's going to tell him, okay, so you might actually be going for some aggression. So I should keep an eye on these lings to deny any pylons. He's got an Overlord here to deny pylons on this area. He's got the ling here to deny pylons in this area. And now it doesn't seem likely. Okay, he cancelled one of the gateways. Okay, that's more like it. He's going for the 4 gateways. Should be dropping a robo pretty soon, and also going for some pressure. Or what? Okay, is he going? Oh, he's going to expand? That is an extremely early expansion there. But we did see a lair first, lair before link speed here for DaiSuki, so he's going to be in a great spot to actually put pressure on his one. He's on 4 gases only, so he's going for most likely this Roach Ling style that Stefano made popular. And against this very early third base, I'm not sure how that's going to fare. Some people are saying, you know, if you get a very early third as Protoss, that actually kind of counters that early Roach Ling aggression. You kind of wall off and put a few cannons there, and then you only have to defend 1 entrance, and you have that extra income from the third base. So actually it might be true. I'm not sure how that's going to go though. He's got double Evo chambers as well. And there's the row. Wow, that row is actually far away. It's actually outside the wall in. That could come into play later on if DaiSuki has to go for the robo. That would be pretty bad for TAiLS if he lost this robo before he could get a decent enough number of morals. And he's also getting those extra 4 gateways over here. So he's going to be on a total of 8 gateways on 3 bases. And that's going to give him a lot of production. Meanwhile, we do see a Spire coming up by DaiSuki, which could actually be great if he goes for mutas and there's no Twilight Council or anything like that coming for TAiLS. Those mutas could actually do a lot of damage. He's got 3 Evo chambers actually. That is interesting. He's getting a 4th base as well because he's seen the 3rd base, I believe. Yes, he's seen the 3rd base go down and he didn't have the units to stop it from going down, so he decided to just take a 4th. And actually, you can kind of play this style as well, that DaiSuki is most likely going to opt for, going for the Hydra and go for the Spire. Just getting a massive economy of 4 bases. Well, this isn't too massive yet. Could get a bit more massive. It's 7-2 drones. That's pretty nice. And just play deny the 4th game instead of deny the 3rd game, which is the more standard play. But if you have those 4 bases, or maybe 5 bases, and definitely at least 5 or 6 hatcheries, which is on 5 right now, you can deny the 4th base and eventually just overpower them with Roach Hydra Corruptor. And we might see that in this game. I don't know, we'll see what DaiSuki has to do, whether he just has to take a 5th base or not. In the meantime, the production tab showing that the +1 for the Roach is already complete. +1/+1 for the Lings about to finish, and +2 though for MVPTAiLS is about to complete. And he's also getting a 2nd robotics facility alongside with a robotics bay, and he has Blink already, which I kind of missed on. But that Blink could be really helpful to defend against mutas that could be coming, which he hasn't seen the Spire. No, he has not. That Observer has stayed there for all the game, basically. And other Roaches are actually attacking this wall, but he's being killed by the cannons, which might not be the smartest choice. I actually do believe that Hydras have more range than these cannons, and they can attack the warp gates without getting attacked. We'll see though. TAiLS could actually just abuse this and just drop force fields and sacrifice a lot of these Roaches for essentially nothing, which it seems like he's doing. Force field and the Hydras from behind. We're going to be killing a lot of these, but DaiSuki is max. He can afford this to happen. He's going to kill all these 4 gateways, greatly reducing the reinforcement capabilities of TAiLS, who is actually dropping 4 more here, going up to a total of 9 gateways when losing these 4. But he just lost all the sentries. No, he's got one left, but one sentry's not going to be that great. And actually, DaiSuki is just losing so many units here. If he gets the Immortal, though, that could be great. And he does get it, and he's got a couple of Corruptors floating as well. But we do have 2 Colossi just now popping out. So these Corruptors are actually going to come in really handy. Stalkers blinking in just as the Roaches do come, though. And the Roaches will be able to pick a few of them off. Corruption going off as well on the Stalkers. Hydras do end up dying, and Hydras are the great damage dealers in this army. We do have a lot more Roaches and Lynx coming, though. DaiSuki 170 supply, TAiLS 135, and TAiLS actually has 1600 minerals. I don't know why he is macroing so badly this time around. He just lost the 4 gateways, though. That might actually explain it. And a great micro by DaiSuki here, moving the Lynx away from the Zealots. And other Colossi are going to be joining the fray, but there are a few Corruptors that could engage onto them, and yes, they do. And the Roaches also will get one of them. And the other one is getting focused fire by the Corruptor Stalkers, attacking the Corruptors instead of the ground units, and the Colossus dies anyway, and now the Roaches actually have free reign over these units, and we actually have more Roaches streaming through this side, and the couple of Colossi might end up dying. Yes, Roaches will be attacking them from both sides. One Colossus dies. These Roaches actually doing so much damage on these Stalkers who aren't unmicroed completely, and this Colossus might die as well. Will these Roaches attack him? Yes, they will. And DaiSuki gets 4 Colossi during all this time. And he doesn't have that many drones here, but he's macroing like a boss. He's got no money at all. Inject energy very low. And units keep streaming in. Lings, Roaches, and also a couple of Hydras there, as the damage dealers have said before. But very nice blink micro as well by these Stalkers. TAiLS, not on top of his macro, but definitely on top of his engagements, and he's on top of where to make the units needs. Like, he's now blocking with the probes once he fires with the Stalkers and the Zealots warping in near the Hydras. That's just great, but TAiLS is slowly declining in supply, and DaiSuki stays in the same supply for ages, though. Now these Corruptors are going to be pretty useless, though, as Immortals are being made. But of course, DaiSuki knows that and should start making more Hydras and Lings rather than pure Roach. And yeah, he's not taking a 5th base, though. That's interesting. Well, he just doesn't have any money for it, though. That's actually great. He's making so much stuff that doesn't even have money for a 5th base. I would already be swimming in like 2,000 minerals, most likely. Maybe not, but. Yeah, just great macro, and TAiLS actually evening out right now, not sitting on the 1,500 minerals he was sitting on before, but supply blocked actually pretty badly, making 7 pylons at the same time. Getting more Immortals. He's going to be up to 6 Immortals right now, but there are a few Hydras joining this army, as well as a lot of Lings, and only a couple of sentries there. Actually, now warping a few more. These forces could be what he needs if he could only trap some more of these Roaches. And he's not doing that. Those forces are pretty useless, only trapping like 2 Roaches. And now the rest of the Lings and Hydras flood in, and they will be targeting those Immortals that are actually corrupted, some of them at least. And now these Hydras are going to be doing some more damage, but it seems like TAiLS' army is a bit too big. Supplies are even now, and DaiSuki doesn't really have that much money. He's taking a 5th base, and okay, he's transferred he's transferred pro drones, not made more. To that base, and his income should be decent. Yeah, incomes are pretty even. DaiSuki should be able to remax momentarily here off of his 5 hatcheries, and great injects. Those Corruptors, though, are inflating his supply a little bit. It's actually not that much of a useful army here. Of course, Colossi are now being made in the production tab, as we see, so soon enough, those Corruptors will actually be useful. Meanwhile, we do have +3 attack and +1 armor for TAiLS, and DaiSuki is only on 2-1, +2 armor about to complete, but it will complete soon for TAiLS as well with that chrono boost. And now this engagement on creep, I'm not sure that I like it. Immortals getting separated from the army a bit, and a lot of Roaches and Hydras do go through those forces. There's more of them sneaking through as well, and now so many Hydras could do a lot of damage. Roaches also moving forward, targeting the Immortals, and all these Immortals are going to die, and the sentries could get chased down as well, but a couple of Colossi are there now. Only 3 Corruptors left, 18 more Roaches in production, and now it's time for Corruptors to be made. Yes, we see 1 Corruptor being made, 2 Corruptors being made. So that's going to be a total of 5. 5 Corruptors is okay. No, it's actually going to be a total of 6 Corruptors, which is even better. And he forces a cancel on that base as well. I'm not sure. I think Tails maybe could have defended it. There's not that much of an army for DaiSuki right now, as a lot was streaming through the map there, and a lot more links there. And yeah, finally going to be transferring these drones, and made a couple more. No, he didn't make more. Wow, he's just staying on 71 drones. He likes his 71 drones. And that's actually a pretty good number, I do believe. Nice. Really got a great position if this army decides to come through this ramp, which it is designed to come through the ramp, and he sees it with the lings, might just go in for it, and will get a great concave. And wow, such great concave. The Nexus does prevent the units from attacking for a while, but it doesn't really matter. 6 Corruptors dealing so much damage to the Colossi, and the Colossi will fall. Another great concave with the Hydras and the Corruption and there's so many Roaches, which are dying pretty quickly, but it doesn't matter. What DaiSuki wants right now is to trade nicely with a Protoss, and he's doing that. 182 supply for Tails, 160 for DaiSuki, whose Corruptors might die, but doesn't matter that much. He's still on 5, and that extra supply that got freed up by the death of those Corruptors could actually be useful into making more Roaches and Hydras. I mean, well, he's denied that base, and he's denied the 4th base for ages right now, and Tails doesn't have a main base, doesn't have a natural, because that is basically mined out, and he's basically mining of the 3rd base, so this is why you can play the deny the 4th game. There's a ton of probes there. I actually don't really know how many that is. 24 plus 16, that's 40 probes there, which is a bit oversaturated. It's actually very oversaturated. And DaiSuki is maxed once again. Tails cannot really attack into him because those Hydras and Creep and the Roaches are just so fast that they will get the surround they need to deal with his army. Off of Creep, yeah, he might have a chance. On Creep, definitely not, and he knows that. And he's got the 4 Corruptors there, and now Force Fields are going to be essential there. Nice Force Fields will cut the army in half, and blinking away, but the sentries could die there. But DaiSuki knows that he does not want to engage with half his army at the same time, and does retreat with that half. Force Fields will soon run out, and no more sentries there as they have been dying. And now great concave by him with the Hydras and the Roaches. The Immortals now joining the fray, but they get contaminated pretty quickly and blinking backward. Immortals in front, they die so fast, and now there's not that much of an army left for Tails. 170 supply to 90, the Queens are there as well, just trolling and walking pretty slowly, and I think this could be GG for DaiSuki, who's maxed against the 85 supply Tails. GG is called, and wow, DaiSuki staying on the 70 drones, was able to make so much stuff and deny the 4th base for so long that Tails eventually just didn't have any bases mining, or just one, and wasn't able to keep up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I hope you will follow the channel, and also you can check me out at twitter.com/youthsc2, and yeah, favorite, rate, comment, etc. all those things you do in YouTube. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you around.